This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We begin tonight at 5 with a live look outside at this record-breaking weather. Temperatures soared into the 80s today, and hopefully you got a chance to spend some time outdoors like these folks in Forest Park, because big changes are on the way. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Some of us, though, could see thunderstorms tonight, followed by plummeting temperatures for all of us. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo with our Weather First forecast.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. You know, it felt like summer. It looks like summer. Now the clouds are beginning to increase in some areas and nothing on the radar yet. So we're going to talk about that warmth. Yesterday, 80, that was a record. 86 today, so that's the hottest it's ever been so early in the year, and also the new all-time record high for February in St. Louis. So there it is, 86 degrees. And of course, in St. Louis history, boy, 2 days of incredible warmth. It's still 83 right now, and a west-southwest wind at 22 miles an hour. But look at the humidity, 21%, and the dew point 39. So some areas a lack of moisture, and you look at the satellite radar shot, the front is to the west of us here, and there's more moisture, believe it or not, in Chicago. Tornado watch in purple there, severe weather breaking out. We don't have anything like that yet. We'll watch the next couple of hours, though, as that moisture again in our southeastern counties where you see the green, we have enough moisture to get some severe weather. We'll talk more about this coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
A man accused of killing a mother and daughter from Chicago is no longer allowed to drive and must stay on house arrest. A St. Louis judge made that decision this morning as part of new conditions of Monty Henderson's bond.
Henderson appeared in court this morning, just a day after video of the deadly crash appeared online. 5 on your side, Justina Coronel was in court this morning. She is live at North 18th and Olive Streets where the deadly crash happened. Justina.
Mike and Kelly, there are cameras above the intersection here, and those cameras captured the entire crash in the early morning hours of February 14th. Well, just this week, that video was leaked onto social media, and now it has gone viral. 5 on your side has decided not to show the moment of impact, but the video leading up to the crash shows the car's speed toward the women in the intersection. Prosecutors say Henderson was going at least 70 miles per hour when he raced through a red light. Initially, a judge released Henderson on a $20,000 cash bond, but he didn't have any restrictions. Now he must wear a GPS monitor, surrender his license, can only leave his house for medical or court appointments. A family member of the victim, Leticia Bracero, and her daughter, Alyssa Cordova, say the video is incredibly difficult to watch. Meanwhile, the attorney for the suspect, Scott Rosenblum, is also upset. He believes the video's release could be an issue with jury selection.
I'm not thrilled that the tape was released. I'd like to get to the bottom of that. I don't understand why and how it got released into the general public this time. I mean, obviously the family wasn't happy with it. You know, it apparently went viral. I don't know, but you know, it has an effect on everybody.
Police say they are doing an internal investigation right now to see how this video was leaked. Meanwhile, today in court, victim impact statements were read, and the family said that they wanted justice and accountability. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
A Troy, Illinois man is sentenced to 50 years in prison after setting fire that killed a woman back in 2022. Michael Sloan Jr. pleaded guilty last month to first-degree murder in the death of Suzanne Tomlinson. According to Tomlinson's daughter, Courtney, she and Sloan got into an argument at her home. That's when Sloan dumped gasoline onto Courtney and her mother. Courtney escaped, but Sloan flicked a lighter and then set Suzanne on fire. Sloan will be 91 years old before being eligible for parole. A 17-year-old murder suspect who escaped from the St. Louis Juvenile Detention Center earlier this month is now back at the center. He escaped through the parking garage by rolling under a security gate on February 3rd. We're working to find out how police tracked down the teen. They haven't said. He's now facing an additional violation for the escape.
An embryo that has never been in a patient, has always been in a dish, is property and not life.
St. Louis area fertility doctors reacting to an Alabama Supreme Court ruling that's raising questions about the future of IVF treatments. Fertility doctors in Alabama abruptly stopped providing IVF treatments for fear that doctors could face criminal or civil penalties for damaging or disposing of embryos. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is hearing from local doctors who say patients are reaching out with questions. Mark?
The fallout from the Alabama Supreme Court ruling is reaching every corner of the country. Fertility doctors in and around St. Louis tell us their patients have been calling in with questions about whether their ongoing care could be in danger. One doctor we spoke to said his staff is providing assurances to patients they can continue to come in for treatments and appointments. He says Missouri courts have generally treated embryos like property, not living people. But those court rulings all happened before the fall of Roe v. Wade in that Dobbs case. The Alabama court cited Dobbs on at least 9 separate occasions. And the law that bans abortion in Missouri does define an embryo as an unborn child. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth is calling on Congress now to take action at the federal level.
After Roe v. Wade was overturned, actually even before then, when Donald Trump promised to only appoint justices who would overturn it, I warned that red states would come for IVF. And now they have. But they aren't just going to stop in Alabama. Mark my words, if we don't act now, it will only get worse.
Senator Josh Hawley told NBC News this afternoon at the U.S. Capitol that Missouri law already protects IVF. Most doctors are operating under that belief here now while keeping a watchful eye on how the courts may interpret any cases in the future.
Just changed everything. Just look at me. I wasn't prepared for this.
Parents are once again scrambling after dozens of bus drivers for the St. Louis Public School District called out sick for a second day. The walkout started Monday morning as drivers protested working conditions at the Missouri Central Bus Company. 5 News' Mercedes McKay has reaction from parents as they made adjustments.
The bus route here to Compton Drew Middle School was one of dozens that was affected by the bus driver walkout Tuesday morning. Parents getting the notification less than 2 hours before the first bell rang. By 8 a.m., the affected number of routes was at 60, leaving St. Louis Public School parents scrambling. All of this is due to employees at Missouri Central Bus Company calling out sick in protest of the company's handling of a racial issue. 5 on Your Side spoke to a mechanic with Missouri Central who claims he's endured racial slurs and harassment for 2 months now. The fallout began Monday and continued into Tuesday, leaving most after-school activities canceled for the second day in a row. For many working parents, finding alternate routes for their students is a major hurdle.
Just a disservice. You have an appointment, you have to reschedule everything.
You don't get all this time off to just go, take care of this on a regular basis. Once in a while is understandable, but, consistently, it affecting our jobs.
District officials will continue to update parents via text messages and on the district's website. In St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on Your Side.
And if you need to find an alternate route for your child, you can call the district's transportation center. If you have a pen and paper, 314-633-5107.
When a couple couldn't make it to the hospital to deliver their baby, Perry County officers stepped in to help. Last week, Perry County Police and ambulance crews responded to an emergency at the intersection of Illinois Route 4 and 150. That's where they met the couple and officers sprang into action. Officers Ben Gra and Chris Saders grabbed an obstetrics kit, and then they helped mom deliver a healthy baby girl in the front seat of her van on the side of the road. The officers even helped dad cut the cord. Mom and baby did eventually go to a nearby hospital to get checked out.
1 person dead, dozens hurt, but the suspected shooters may be legally in the green. We look at how Missouri's Stand Your Ground law may apply to the Kansas City shooting.
And Governor Mike Parson sending Missouri troops and guardsmen to the Texas border. We now know more about the price tag.